All right, good morning, everyone. 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here with a look now at tropical storm, still tropical storm, Fiona. However, Fiona is strengthening this morning and looks like it's going to be a hurricane here very, very shortly. Let me check something here. As soon as I jump on, looks like something may have popped up here. Bottom line is Puerto Rico, especially the south side of Puerto Rico, southwestern Puerto Rico, towards eventually even over, Ponce and eventually over towards Mayaguez. We'll probably see more of this than anybody else. Right now, we've got Hurricane Fiona as of 11 o'clock this morning. So that changes. All right. They have just now updated it to a hurricane. Winds right now are at 80 miles per hour. It's moving to the northwest. What's the movement here? Let me look at this. Pull all this up for you. Glad I checked because this just came out. It's moving to the west-northwest at 8 miles per hour. It's very, very slow down there. And you can see now this convection. And that's why I wanted to jump on this morning. If you see this convection that's happening, the center is where you see the one right there. All right, now watch, we're going to go back. This is a 3-hour loop. Watch the convection form up near the north of that and then really expand out here on the southwest side. This side has had a lot of wind shear. And so this is showing you that has lightened up. It's really going to give this thing an opportunity to strengthen as it drifts off towards the north. So here's where it is now, 75 mile per hour winds. The forecast calls for winds increasing throughout the day today, and in fact, upwards of 80, 85 miles per hour as it gets over towards Dominican Republic. Let me take it. I'm going to show you this right now. Let's get you updated where we are. Okay. So you can see the rain, the clouds are starting to expand all the way over Puerto Rico, of course, but all through eastern parts of Dominican Republic are now starting to see the outer bands. Let's go over to the radar and show you what we're looking at now as far as the radar goes. The Puerto Rico, we lost a frame, and thank goodness it was just a frame. I thought we lost the radar data altogether. Not really because of wind. This is not a terrible wind situation on land right now, but certainly a heavy rainmaker. And then you see all these little spins out here, these little circles. Those are rotation. So let's start first. The center obviously is over here. There's Puerto Rico. That's the U.S. Virgin Islands. That's the British Virgin Islands here. You see these outer rain bands here with all those circles? Those can produce water spouts, which are tornadoes when they come over land, right? That's something to watch. We always look in the northeast quadrant as well. If you split this circle here in half and another half, and you look to the north and the east, that's where we expect the best chance for tornadoes and water spouts. And look what's happening. You see all these indications that we've got all this rotation out there. So this is going to be streaming into southern parts of Puerto Rico here, from Hobos or Santa Isabel all the way over to Ponce as this thing comes by. So heavy rain, yes, just about the entire island seeing heavy rain out there today, right? 6 to 10 inches of rainfall. Some areas are going to see a little bit more than that. And you got to imagine that especially the center part of Puerto Rico here is a lot of mountains. So you're going to get mudslides. You're going to get that type of flooding that occurs when you've got what we call relief, when you've got elevation there. So that's not going to be a pretty situation. But I think rain is obviously going to be one of the worst things here. But you can see the highest winds and heaviest rain are going to be right here on this northeast eye wall. Okay. That, I think, is going to scrape over here into southwest Puerto Rico. So Mayaguez southward and up to Rincon as well, too. But all these areas down to the southwest, especially west of Ponce. Okay. That's, I think, we'll get some of the highest winds out of all of this. Bigger picture, again, you can see the BVI sitting up here. You've got these outer rain bands coming through, and it'll be breezy, of course. But basically, your threat is going to be the tornado threat that comes into some of these outer bands that are going to be coming through. All right, now let's get back over here to this. I want to show you some wind that we've been seeing here. Let's go out to the U.S. Virgin Islands here. Not terrible right now. We've got winds gusting to 40, 44 miles per hour, 45 mile per hour gusts. That's not terrible. You get over here into Puerto Rico on the eastern edge of the island. You've got gusts now 40 knot gusts, 40 mile per hour gusts. Again, the highest winds are going to be down here along the southern part of the island. The purple that you see here, this is where we expect to see hurricane force winds. And you see how it's in that northeast quadrant there, but you also see how it affects this area here in Puerto Rico. So Rincon, just about, right? You're right there. Mayaguez, certainly. Puerto Real, San German, all these areas, all right, are going to see potentially hurricane force winds. Now, I'm thinking it's generally going to be winds in the 60s, but gusts well into the 70s, which I can do quite a bit of damage in this area. So this is data from the Hurricane Center. This is their plot that you see here. This red box that you see here indicates winds over 60 miles per hour. So that's the whole western half of Puerto Rico, seeing that. All right, San Juan is actually going to do better than anybody else out of this as far as winds go. And then you get up into, what are we talking about now? This is tomorrow morning at sunrise. You see it's moving in between Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic overnight tonight into tomorrow. And then the winds will pick up there. But this, I don't know if you can see where I'm dragging this. This is the coastline. See the coastline there? The forecast is saying most of those hurricane force winds will stay offshore because, again, it's going to be north and east of where the center goes. So this is more of a rain event for Dominican Republic than it is a wind event, although, of course, it will be windy, 40s and 50s for winds with gusts a little bit higher than that. That's where it stands now. If this jogs to the left a little bit, you could have hurricane force winds on this eastern tip of the island here. So that's something that has to be watched very closely for that area. Okay, there's the bigger picture. Really good looking storm. I mean, look, this thing could barely get stacked earlier this week, and now it's a larger storm for sure. Look at the forecast track from the Hurricane Center. Thank goodness. See the Turks and Caicos down here? The center stays to the east of that, and look, see the purple here? That's that hurricane force winds. The islands are over here. In fact, most of the islands will avoid even tropical storm force winds, right? Some of these little islands right here on the eastern side could get that. But it looks like once it gets past Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, it's out over land, over sea more than anything else, and it'll continue off towards the north. But look, they've got a Cat 3 hurricane with about 110, 115 mile per hour winds by the time we get towards Wednesday morning, east of the Bahamas. So that's okay, right? It's out to sea. It does look like it's going to make a curve. Okay, speaking of that, let's go and talk the models. So this is the data that I was just talking about. This is the very latest update. Let me get some of this to get out of the way for you. Let's see if you can see this for you. Yeah, you can see this. All right, so let's talk about this. This is the track from the Hurricane Center. I want to go over the warnings. So we've got hurricane warnings for all of Puerto Rico, hurricane warnings for eastern parts of Dominican Republic, tropical storm warnings up towards Santiago, and then these are, what are those? Those are tropical storm watches. Yeah, the yellow is the watches that you're seeing there. Okay, so that explains all of that moving off to the north. By the time we get towards, it looks like Wednesday, what are we looking at? This is 80 mile per hour winds. That's Monday night into Tuesday. Okay, so you can see it making that trek off to the north and the east. All right, now let's come out to the GFS model. There it is tonight in between the two islands of Puerto Rico and Dominican. Tomorrow morning sunrise, it's skirting the coast of Dominican Republic. Puerto Rico weather's getting better. Still, you see all this back here? There will still be showers and storms, and there will still be actually a tornado threat through the day tomorrow in Puerto Rico. But notice as we get into Monday night, Monday sunset, it's moving east of the islands, intensifying. Sunrise Tuesday into Tuesday evening, and you see it's continuing to move up and move out. This is Wednesday night. All right, that's Bermuda right there. You see Bermuda right here? So let's go up. Yeah, it's going to be very close. The time is going to be Thursday. So you need everything done by Wednesday night in Bermuda if you're making preps in Bermuda. That's the GFS model. The Europeans, very similar. This is Monday night. There it is, skirting the coast of Dominican. Moving east, northwest, I should say, but east of the islands. And that is Wednesday morning sunrise right there, starting that turn. And then that's all we got for the data as far as that one goes. I did want to show you this real fast. This is the ensembles of the GFS, really, really on board. Here comes the trough up to the north, picking it up and pulling it out. Very good. We like that. I also wanted to point this out. Look, this goes out through the 28th of September, 29th, 30th, 31st, 30th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th of October, and there's nothing, barely anything on the model. Now, the European does the same exact thing. Watch, it picks it up with this trough. See the trough coming through New England? See it picking it up? Right, now, the European does have this wave coming off of Africa, but watch, it actually tries to kick it off to the north pretty quickly. And let me back up and see if I got another run yet. So it kicks it up pretty quickly to the north. And then look at this. This is October 1st right here. And only the European is suggesting something down here, which actually climatologically wise is where we would look in October. But it doesn't do much with it. So, once we get this out of the way, it looks like another quiet stretch, almost to finish out the month of September. We'll see. I mean, things can happen, but that's where it looks at this particular point right now. Okay, let me get you back out one more time. If you got any questions, anything like that, I'll be there on my Facebook page, of course, and on my YouTube page to post any answers to your questions, anything like that. Take it easy out there. I hope you're prepped and ready to go. Things will go downhill, especially southwestern parts of Puerto Rico throughout the afternoon today into tonight. The islands, USVI, BVI, those areas still looking at those outer rain bands coming through today. That'll be the worst of it. The winds will be decreasing, and they haven't been terrible, but they will be decreasing gradually as the next 24 hours go on. Still going to be breezy, still going to have some rain. You can see down here some pretty good thunderstorms. They're going to be rotating northward. And anytime you get those, you can get some very, very heavy rainfall in a short amount of time. Okay, guys, that's the Sunday morning update. If anything else breaks throughout the day, today I'll be back on here. Just remember the headline today is we've got a hurricane.